Good morning, Dhyanaji. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone.
Welcome to today's session. The topic today is a very important one, which is major obstacles on the spiritual path. We will listen to a song by Swamiji, and we have a wonderful video talk by Swamiji on this topic. But before that, we will request Dhyanaji to lead us into this topic through a prayer.
Thank you, Natindra. Let's start with a prayer. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, Guru Preceptors, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mashaya, Swami Sri Yukteswarji, beloved Master Paramahansa Yoganandaji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. We ask thy blessings on our satsang today. May we feel uplifted into thy light. May we feel thy blessings flowing into us in body, mind, and soul. Om Shanti, Shanti.
If you're seeking freedom in a revolution, oh, if you're seeking freedom, you won't find it there. For once the guns stop blazing, you'll find it amazing how the world can drag on just as before. If you're seeking freedom in a marble mansion, oh, if you're seeking freedom, you won't find it there. For even when it's sunny, you'll be counting money, keeping up that showcase, your face lined with care. And if you're seeking freedom on a throne of power, oh, if you're seeking freedom, you won't find it there. For though men all obey you, what if they betray you? Tense you'll be and waiting for foes everywhere. But if you're seeking freedom, cast away desires, why barter like a beggar? You've wealth everywhere. For never can you buy it, grasp and you deny it. Freedom can't be hoarded, it's free as the air. And if you're seeking freedom, seek it on the mountains, God's sunlight on your shoulders, the wind in your hair. For there's no one can hold you, boss about or mold you. Once your heart is free, you'll be king everywhere.
But the trouble with human beings is that they get caught wanting other things. Let me read a passage, it's a very interesting one, from the book Conversations with Yogananda, in which the Guru is saying, desires are the greatest obstacle on the spiritual path. I see it, he added, as a war with people fighting to achieve victory. Some are killed by bullets of desire and must be reborn to renew the struggle. Others, after great difficulties, win through to victory and have no need to return to this material plane. Another time he said, I see the spiritual path as a race. The devotees are running. Some of their strength, sapped by desires, drop out of the race. Some of them even beginning running in the opposite direction. When someone wins at last, however, he achieves eternal blessedness in God. Desires come, of course, in differing degrees of intensity. All of them, the Master said, must eventually be fulfilled. I once asked him, all desires, sir, even trivial ones, unfulfilled at the time that one later forgets about? What about such insignificant desires as the mild wish for an ice cream cone? Must even that idle wish be fulfilled eventually? He shocked me by answering quite seriously, "Oh, yes." Dr. Lewis once told me he had been glancing over a new car one day. "Watch your desires, doctor," the master warned him. It may seem, considering the infinite number of desires that ripple across the mind, that liberation must remain eternally an impossible dream. Fortunately, such is not the case. For one thing, as the Master once told me, and as I've quoted earlier, when ecstasy comes, everything goes. For another, as he explained to us more than once, it is possible even during one deep meditation to be freed through visions of the karmas of many lifetimes. Desires lead you sort of like that donkey, which had a stick tied to its head and a carrot dangling from the stick. And the donkey was straining to get that carrot, but the stick, of course, went with him. And so as far as he went, the carrot was still just that far ahead of him. Meanwhile, behind him, he dragged a cartload of worries, and that was how his owner got him to pull that cart. Well, that cartload of worries is what you bring along with you when you strain towards desires, thinking, "I will get this, then I'll be happy. I will have that, then I'll be happy." You won't find it that way. You won't find freedom that way. You won't find fulfillment or anything that way. Everything looking for it in the future. Don't you know that you have it all right now?
Good morning again, friends. I'd like to start with a letter Swami Kriyanandaji wrote to someone on disloyalty. No one is going to tell you what to do. However, in matters like these, it isn't reason that rules. One thinks to reason things out carefully. Meanwhile, however, Maya takes control. Please believe me, for I've seen this drama play itself out many, many times in my life. I myself might have left the path many years ago if I hadn't acted simply with love for God, instead of trying to reason my way to clarity. Master himself told me that's how things would have worked out. The matter runs deeper than reason. Divine Mother won't allow those to stay at Ananda whose hearts are divided on such issues. I say these things not to try to force you in any way, but because I love you. What saved me was the awareness that Master loved me and that I loved him. Clarity came later. This is a vitally important topic because people start out very enthusiastic, they're joyful, they love the teachings, they love meditating, they love the satsangs, coming to the center and all. And then they start slipping away and they find that, oh, it's too difficult, or oh, I'd rather do this, or oh, I'd rather do that. And you find yourself off the path. What happened to your enthusiasm? What happened to your dedication? What happened to your loyalty? What happened to the desire for God? It just got washed away. And Master said of Senor Coran, one of the disciples, he said, I lost sight of you for many lifetimes, but I won't lose sight again. And Senor Coran kept saying, please, Master, please don't lose sight, don't lose sight. And Swamiji explained that Master didn't lose his sight. He was just saying that to him. Mr. Coran ran off. And that's the thing. You run off and you run away towards desires. And I think this will make me happy. This relationship and this new job and this new house and this new car and this new everything. And you find that it's empty. And I tried it myself. I'm speaking from my own experience that at a certain point, I just said, I'm just tired of getting up early. I'm tired of meditating. I'm tired of having to listen to somebody else. I'm tired of it. And I just skipped off, didn't tell anybody. I just left Ananda. Those were 3 long, hard years. It's no fun. Those were the worst years of my life. There was no joy. There was no fulfillment. All the things I thought I was going back to, they just crumbled to dust. There was nothing left until, by God's grace, Master brought me back. And you just think it's fun out there. It's not fun. You have one health issue, you have health challenge, you have your finances go wrong, you have your relationships breaking up, and you realize there's nothing out there. And so there are certain delusions, obstacles along the path I want to hit today, that so that we can just wake up and think, I'm not going there. The first is doubt. Doubt of the teacher, doubt of the teachings, doubt of the techniques, doubt of the center, doubt of the organization, doubt of master, doubt of all the gurus, doubt of Swamiji. Swamiji said, Master told Swamiji he was eaten up with doubts in the past life, eaten up with doubts. And Swamiji said so beautifully, when I learned to love my guru, my doubts disappeared. He said, reason wasn't it. It was my heart. I had to open up. And so there's things you have to put on the shelf. I had to put a lot of things on the shelf. I didn't understand the teachings. I didn't know why you had to serve. I didn't really want to meditate. I wanted peace, but doubt assails you. And you just have to put those things on the shelf and say, maybe I'll understand it later. Maybe this will work out later. But if you go with the doubt, you can be gone in a second. Remember that. The second one is negativity. Master said, why look at the drains? If I wanted to say things bad about the organization that are wrong, I start and never finish. And people go on and on. I don't like this. I don't like that person. I don't like this technique, or I don't like this ceremony. So what? It's the path. It's the path we've been given. And when Swamiji was, he was kind of low energy. And this is, negativity comes from low energy. He was walking by Master. Master says, well, how are you, Walter? And he says, well, you can always say, well, but where's well going to get you? Nowhere, but lower and lower energy. We have to be positive, energetic, enthusiastic. Do the SCL exercises, energize more, do yoga, get out and exercise, and you'll find you can banish the negativity. I remember a girl when I moved to the meditation retreat at Ananda Village. I was in my early 20s and rebellious, and I didn't want to do those things either. I didn't want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, who wants to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning? And so me and this other girl shared a cabin. She was on one bunk, I was on the other. Every morning they'd ring that gong, and you'd have to get up and get outside and energize. Rain, snow, whatever. You had to be out there energizing. And that girl every day said, I hate it. I hate getting up. Don't you hate it? I didn't like it, but I wasn't going to affirm I hated it. I knew it was good for me. Things that are good for you. Don't just say, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. That's negative. Just say, okay, I'll try it. Say yes and make it snappy, as Gyanamata said, and be positive, energetic, be enthusiastic. Say yes to life. And you'll find that you change that thought pattern in your mind. Who knows how many lifetimes you had that? I don't want to. It's too hard. And I find people just have a book of excuses. They go on and on why they can't do this, why they didn't do that, why they didn't come, why they didn't get up, why they didn't meditate, why they didn't. Just get rid of it and just say, no, this is the path my guru's given me. And this is what I will do. So that's the third one, laziness. Just get rid of it. And how do you get rid of it? Jump out of the bed. Master, the Swamiji, in fact, well, Master said first, energize, do the tensing, your whole body, sorry, and relaxing in the bed until you get up. And then once you're still groggy, march in place by the bed. And you'll find that you can really wake yourself up if you want to get up. And then when you get up, energize, do yoga, just keep the energy flowing. Laziness is death to the yogi. I don't want to do it. I don't have the energy. I want to go back to bed. I want to sleep. This is completely the opposite of the energy that a yogi should be, a strong, determined, wanting to do it, going to do it, willful, willingness. This is what it takes. And I'd like that man at San Francisco House, Ananda, who threw the shoe at the door when we would go by his, we went by his room to wake him up. Oh, my saint, wake, wake. Oh, my saint, wake. You did not meditate. You did not concentrate. You passed your time in idle words. Death will be at thy door. I used to be a cheerleader. Maybe you didn't know. But anyway, now I'm a cheerleader for Master. Anyway, this guy was so upset. He threw the shoe at the door. Leave me alone. And there's a part of you just says, leave me alone. But if you say that enough, Guruji will leave you alone. If you say, no, I know it's hard to get up, I know it's hard to meditate, I know it's whatever, but Master, I want it. Or just check off another lifetime. You have to say, I want it. I'm willing. I'm dedicated. I'm committed. Even if my mind says it, I want it, Master. I want you. I want God. And keep that affirmation going. The next one is self-importance. That people somehow, and I still don't get it, but they feel they're so important. Swamiji, remember he said, I'm not even important to myself. And someone said to him once, well, what is your name? He was at a program, and he said, Swami Kriyananda. And the lady said, oh, but you're famous. And he said, well, I don't know, maybe, but so what? Well, most people who are famous tend to act like they're famous. And I mean, this is the thing. What is the big deal? Just do your seva, be happy, feel God is the doer. As soon as you get puffed up and fluffed up, that's when Divine Mother comes in and tests you. Master had one disciple who the ladies thought he was nice looking, and so Master went after him. And at a major program, he put a turban, he made the man wear a turban. And I think he was somehow on stage or whatever, but anyway, the turban was there, and there was the part of the fabric hanging down. And the way Master put the turban on was so it kept leaning off the man's head, and he had to keep bringing it back, and it was slipping left and right. And I think he got his lesson. So I would say better learn it before Divine Mother helps you to learn it. And what we did, I just love setting up different centers, which, around India, Italy, whatever. When we set up the Assisi Center, the big crew of us, we did everything, every job. It just, clean up the kitchen, mop the floor, paint. I didn't know how to paint the wall, but we learned how to paint the wall. Clean out the garden, clean up the bathrooms, clean up the guest rooms. It was just like, what a joy, instead of, I'm a teacher and these are my students. This is so wrong. This is so egotistical. And people should praise me. Swamiji never wanted praise. He said people touched his feet. He felt they were blessing him. And he said another thing. He said, I don't teach anybody anything. I said, whoa. He said, but I love to share. Isn't that beautiful? I love to share, but I'm not anybody. I'm not teaching you anything. It's something you already know. Well, self-importance. And then we get down to the last one, lack of satsang, and listening to others besides those who you should be listening to. So lack of satsang is meaning that, just about done. So lack of satsang is not coming to things, coming things like this. There's so many things all during the week of satsang you can participate in. There's Kriya initiations that are happening at all the centers. There's satsangs every Sunday and other days of the week. There's kirtans. There's no reason. Master had two disciples. He told both of them, you come as much as you can. One came all the time. One never came. Master said, look at him, he's bogging down. It's because he never comes. And people say, oh, they've got a book of excuses why they're not coming. but they're getting more and more and more and more out of tune. And finally, going to the wrong places, going to other satsang, and just getting totally confused. Well, this person says you do Kriya this way, this person says you do Hongsa that way, and listening to other teachers can get you in big trouble. Finally, I'll say that I remember I went to this astrologer in Singapore, and he was part of the center. And I don't know, these things you just do them and you wonder, why on earth did I do that? I didn't need to go there. Completely wrong. You won't be serving in India. You'll be going back to America. Now, this was 10, 12 years back. On and on and on. Totally wrong. But it upset me. I thought, my gosh, I want to be in India. Why am I going to? And I remember Jyotishan Devi said, why are you listening to him? And people listen to everybody. Oh, really? Oh, is it so? And another man who tried to give me advice at Nanda Village, Swamiji just slammed me. He's no saint. Why are you listening to him? What he wanted to say was, why don't you listen to the channels of Master? So I'll end with that, and I'll ask Natindra. He has some questions. We'll go into those now. But let's remember, this is vitally important. You don't want to be one of those people running backwards that Swamiji talked about in the reading. You want to be running forward. And if you do satsang, seva, do your meditation, come to things, all of these, Master gave a formula. It's a recipe. Use it, and you can avoid those pitfalls.
Thank you so much, Dhyanaji. And we are so thankful that you proved that astrologer wrong in terms of going back to America.
Totally. He was completely wrong.
So, Dhyanaji, about these obstacles, the question that comes to mind is that if we are already on the spiritual path and if our gurus are also with us, then why do we get obstacles in the first place?
Well, you created karma. So you got to pay it off. You're going to slide into heaven. You created that karma yourself. You did things that you have to correct. And so I would rather, instead of saying, why me, be grateful that you have the opportunity to correct it with, you only have to do the 25%. Master does 25%, 50% is God's grace. You have 70% of help with that karma. So it is what it is. You can't, I remember one person said, you can't run away from your karma, maybe running after you. And so it's going to be there, but you're getting the scratch instead of breaking your arm, so to speak. That's what one great saint said. If you love God, and it's your karma to break an arm or a leg, you might get a scratch. So when things happen now, I just say, that's a scratch, thank you, instead of why me.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. The next one, Dhyanaji, is how can we get to know that we are heading towards a particular delusion or an obstacle? And how can we preempt them?
Gee, I mean, there's a bad feeling there. How do you feel at an uplifting, at a satsang, at a kriya, at a kirtan? You just feel so uplifted because your energy is going up. It's going in the right direction, upward, towards super consciousness. When you start doing things that aren't right, the energy goes in the opposite direction and you feel heavy, low, depressed maybe, saddened. Here's the biggest word, out of tune. Nothing seems to go right. I mean, that's what happened with me. Nothing was going right when I was putting my all into it. And so when you look that way and you see, well, that didn't work and that didn't work and that didn't work, maybe I'm heading in the wrong direction. At that time, catch it. Don't just keep barreling down that way. Catch it. Ask somebody, does this seem right to you? And, what do I want to say here? Don't go on alone. Why do we have centers? Why do we have meditation groups? Why do we have online classes? Why do we have acharyas? Why do we have help? Why do we have Jyotishan Deviji? Hello. I mean, Master's given us so much help so that we won't fall into these pitfalls. But still, I've seen many people leave. And I see them later, they don't look very happy.
Then there's a live question related to that, and also as
Okay.
Master said, some are, Swamiji said, some are going backwards.
Hmm.
So the question is, many times after being on the path for some time, sometimes our old self and our old ways seem to make us happier. So how
Oh,
do you avoid that backsliding?
they make you happier. No, no,
Yeah.
no. That's temporary. You might think so, but is that going to last? I haven't seen that lasting. So it might be a temporary temptation, the old friends, and then you realize that wasn't a good vibration. It didn't leave you feeling good. Clean is the word. You go into a bad environment. Do you feel clean afterwards? Do you feel clean in that environment? And you take it for granted, but it takes a lot to clean your aura. You can't just sort of think everything's okay. It's like you've got something, it's on you, that low energy. So don't be fooled. It's a divine test. And you remember you liked that place. You liked going there. Remember you liked those friends. Why don't you call them? Oh, remember you used to like drinking. It's okay, but it's not, you know? Oh, remember this. You remember I would just take an axe and chop those things off. Otherwise, you get back into it and then you slip sliding. One drink and there you go, drinking again. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a joke. These things, delusion has its own power. It can just suck you right off the path. But you can strong enough, you've got enough like tools in your tools case to really fight it off. But you got to be a spiritual warrior. I mean, you have to be strong. How many people? Now I'm going to frighten you here, but I don't mind. But I was with a group once, and they were, preparing for Kriya, and one of the classes, and I thought, gee, now how many of these people? And we know how it is, right? The beginning, there's level one. There's so many people. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Level two, you got less people. Yeah, yeah. Level three, you got less. Level four, you got less. And you got the few Kriyabans from the big group that you had at the beginning. And I thought when I was in that class, I thought, how many of these people are going to last doing Kriya their whole life? I don't know. I think everybody, all of us should ask ourselves, am I in for the distance? And if you are, you got to fight for it. You got to be a spiritual warrior to stick with it, stick on the path, stick with your gurus, stick with your sadhana, stick with the teachings. It's not easy. How have I been able to do it? Good company, satsang, strong sadhana, determination, willpower, love of the guru, and Swamiji's infinite, constant guidance and master's grace. Remember, Swamiji said, I may have said this before, but it's a wonderful thought. He said that he had gone through intellect to find God. Master told him, you got to get devotion, got to get devotion. So he said, if I had gone through devotion, I would have saved a lot of time. But then he added, but in the final analysis, it was Master's grace that pushed me through. Isn't that beautiful? So you try. You're doing your 25%. At the end, Divine Mother, Master just, okay, you've done enough. Come on, let's go. It's so beautiful, the Guru's love for the disciple.
Absolutely. Thank you, Janaji. We have another live question, Janaji. It's great to
Great.
see this participation.
Hmm.
The question is, what are the signs and symptoms of walking backwards or walking towards delusions?
Hmm. Well, I would say if you're walking backwards, you're confused. You can't see the way. Um, heaviness, a lot of doubts and a lot of negativity, a lot of self-justification. Oh, I'm doing this because they didn't accept me, or the Kriya didn't work, or, excuse after excuse. Yeah, I would say just heavy lack of attunement. You just don't feel the joy of the path. This path is joyful. You're going in the right direction. You're uplifted. There's a joy there. Even if you're in pain, there's a joy. You start going back, it's like, uh-oh, something's wrong. Yeah.
Thank you, Danaji. We have time for just one last quick question.
Okay.
The question is that are obstacles really needed and necessary on the spiritual path?
I mean, why does everybody want an easy way out? Let's just ask that question. You need to grow. You need to clear up your karma. You need to get strong in yourself to find God. And obstacles along the path are, why do we even, honestly, I chose that word, but why do we even have to call it an obstacle? It's just on the path, there are different ways, different things that push you forward, and other ones push you back. Some push you to the side, to the left, some push you to the right. It's just, but you have to be aware that they are there. Every saint, every master, every great soul has gone through tests. Every one of them. All you have to do is read any of the books. Master Swamiji Master went off to the Himalayas against his guru's will. Then he came back, and Swami Shukteswaraji said, poor boy, mountains couldn't give you what you wanted. And then he hits him on the chest and he goes into samadhi. But before that, he was gone. Swamiji went through one test after another. We saw him. I think he also honestly took on other people's karma, as Master did, as any great master can and did. And so it's a part of life. If you didn't have these obstacles, you'd have more of them on the outside. Guruji said, didn't he? He said, you might think this path is hard. Try going off. Try going outside there. It's much more difficult. And you don't have the help. You don't have the guru bus. You don't have the gurus. You don't have the techniques. You don't have the teachings. You don't have the clarity. You don't have the will. I mean, you're just being beat down. And I would say it's not worth even trying it. How are you going to pull up from something like that? It takes a long time. God's grace pulled me out of it, and I would never want that on anybody. Love God, serve God, be grateful that Master's brought you out of delusion, at least bringing us out of delusion, and he's going to show us the light. You just can sense it. He's just pulling us towards him and towards the light. God bless you all. Thank you, Natindra. Have a nice day, everybody. God bless you. Bye-bye.